Todd Miller.
I rise to take a short call to talk about Part 2, in particular comments around the amendment of the Education Act. As already discussed, this particular part facilitates a matching $25 increase achieved through regulations to the student allowance rates for students with dependent children. We have, of course, promoted this to ensure that we don't create an incentive to move from study to benefit rates, to ensure that the support is provided for those who qualify whilst at study. There is also a consequential amendment, it was discussed in some part by the previous speaker, to provide that the student allowance CPI adjustment is applied on the 31st of March 2016 and that happens before the adjustment then occurs, the $25 increase occurs on the next day. And I think that does make sense, Mr Chair. It is going to take us a little while, as the various official reports have suggested, to be able to get this package. It's a large one. It's the largest, as has been said, for many, many years, to get it right, to get the systems in place to enable it. And so that 1st of April deadline or target date, I think, is the appropriate one. This, as already discussed, this is a relatively small part of this very large and comprehensive support package of over $750 million. The regulatory impact statement itself, Mr Chair, talks to this particular part being $1.8 million extra spend in 15-16, rising to $6 million in 17-18. So obviously in the context of the overall package, not huge, but important to ensure that when you do something, you do it right and make sure that all the appropriate consequential amendments occur. In terms of the overall complexity of the systems change that this particular part enables, Mr Chair, the RIS again suggests that this is moderate changes to IT systems and processes to enable it. Mr Chair, we had some conversation about this particular part in our Select Committee deliberations, some submissions, some have already been referenced already. I do want to draw the House's attention to a couple of submitters. Law for Change, they submitted on this particular point and stated that increasing support for students with children, education would become a more feasible choice for parents, Mr Chair, and in their view, greater assistance to enable parents to attain qualification will help to reduce welfare dependence in the long term. We also had a specific submission on this particular part by the New Zealand Federation of Business and Professional Women, Mr Chair, who were also supportive of the increase, quite explicitly so, as it would enable parents with children to continue to participate in the education system. And if I could quote specifically, Mr Chair, from Caritas New Zealand, again with respect to this particular part, we also welcome the adjustments to be made to student allowances to ensure that children in those families have the same advantage. Overall, in terms of the submitters on this particular point, they were all supportive of the increase in the student allowance with students with children. The fact that it was mirroring, oh, I'm struggling with that word, the increase in main benefit rates, and most of the submitters were of the view that increasing support with students with children will help improve the long-term prospects of that particular family. So, Mr Chair, this is a small part of a comprehensive bill that I have huge pride in being able to stand and support. It provides significant support for those who are most vulnerable. There isn't crowing. This is a government that focuses on those who are most vulnerable and does it in a comprehensive, considered and reflective way, and I am sure that it will be appreciated by those who receive it. Thank you, Mr Chair.
Sue Moroney.